I like to know where people stand so I know how to treat you accordingly.
They be trying to do it, I'm just doing me. I be working hard and they just want it free.
Be competitive with yourself.
Hey, what's going on? It's Jsean for another quick and cool pickup. My bad, I got all my angles and stuff not completely on. My battery died from my top view, which I really wanted for this particular video, or at least my next video. Let me get right to the point here. This is about fragrances. I'm the type of person who honestly is not that deep into fragrances. I'm the type of person where I smell it, I think it smells good, or I don't think it smells that good. It's pretty cut and dry for me. I never knew how deep and involved it really was, as far as notes and all the different ingredients and how it wears and the different layers and all those different things that I was just unaware of, right? So now that I'm becoming aware of it, from my small level of understanding, I kind of just want to share a real quick little rundown, because I'm probably going to go through my fragrances and what I use. And you have to understand, from at least what I learned, what you smell in the bottle, what you smell in the little paper, excuse me, on those sample papers and stuff like that. It's not necessarily how it's going to project on you, because everybody's skin and their natural oils in their skin and everything like that is going to play a part in how the fragrance smells initially and how it breaks down over time and how it lasts throughout the day, and just basically how it projects and smells on you, right? And even projection, like they talk about how the projection versus smelling up close versus smelling far away, seasonal type of fragrances, and dark and musky to bright, sweet, airy type of scents. You just have to kind of figure out what you like and stick with what you like. Now, there are some fragrances that maybe my girl doesn't like, but I don't think smells bad. I mean, you got to kind of take the good with the bad with that, because if you're around that person and they don't like what you smell like, I mean, you kind of got to figure that out for yourself. You know what I mean? So that could be a tough one for you, but I'm not the type of person who necessarily wants to project, necessarily who wants to be smelt from, you know, when I walk through the room and stuff like that. I've never really been that type of person. I actually don't like my clothes to smell a certain way. I don't spray stuff on my clothes even when I do wear it. I spray it on, like, you know, on my neck, on my hands, on my arms, or something like that. I'm gonna give you some pointers from my perspective and how I'm understanding it too, to maybe it can help you guys out or somebody out there. The more you grow or get involved with an understanding of, say, something like wine or even cigars, right? It's not as simple as you may want it to be or think it is from the outside in, when you're not really aware of that. I don't want to say lifestyle, but that type of whatever that is, if you kind of piece together what I'm trying to say. When you get into wines, for example, there's so many levels of how you can taste it and, you know, swirl it around and let it breathe. And it's like very complicated. It's like an art in its own, right? And to somebody who's not into it, you're going to look at it like, what's the big deal? Just let me drink it, boom, and be done. So what I'm learning is with fragrances, it's kind of like the same level of understanding. So all this backstory, because I didn't really know how I want to start this off, is perfumes, fragrances, and colognes and all this other stuff. That's not actually something I'm that into. I'm into it, but I don't care about it. I could care less about it. You know what I'm saying? So the more I started learning and understanding about it, I became more interested. And then when I saw the price tags, it's not just about the brand or the creator. It is, but it's deeper than that. It's literally like science. And you have to be like a master, whatever person who like fuses all these different things together in the way it layers and breaks down. It's crazy complicated, way more than you would think, way more than a person who's not into it would understand. And I get that, because I'm halfway in and out of that understanding. All these minutes to talk just to say it's called Baccarat Rouge. And if I mispronounce certain things, just bear with me, right? Because prior to this, I didn't know what EDT was, EDP was, parfum. I'm thinking perfume. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like super ignorant. I can't even pronounce half the stuff where I feel almost silly trying to pronounce it and then saying it incorrectly or something like that. So I'm just saying EDP, EDT, and stuff like that. All right. So I'll try to pronounce it. Just bear with me because I don't understand it, and I'm not gonna act like it is new to me and it's very interesting to me, and I understand why there's so many people, males and females, who's into it so much. One thing I will say is a lot of things now between male and female or unisex is kind of coming to a medium because a lot of females will go for male-driven fragrances, maybe like the heavier scents and stuff like that. And like a lot of the airier, lighter scents, sweeter scents that females tend to, flowery scents that they tend to be drawn to, men can wear them too. Because like me personally, I don't really like the musky smells. I kind of like more of, like, I think there was a leather one that was a Tom Ford that was kind of pricey too. I was almost going to get it. I didn't think it smelled that bad. But everybody I asked what it smelled like, they didn't describe it the way I thought it smelled. So I was like, you know what? I must have the wrong perception of what it actually smells like. So I just stayed away from it. I don't really care for new car smell or a leather smell unless it was for a new car. I don't want to go walking around smelling like a brand new basketball or something crazy like that, or some new leather seats. That's just me personally. So I'm out of breath. I literally just ate too. I first saw the price tag. I was a little blown away. Started doing more research. There's a lot of highs and lows with people's perception of this particular fragrances, because there's two of them. I got both because I didn't know which one to get, so I bought them blindly, right? I spent all this blindly because of the hype around it. And the hype is kind of, to some people, is played out because the more people know about it, like me, new fish, they just go get it, and then everybody starts smelling the same. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I've only smelled... There's this one female who walked by me one time. I was at Home Depot at all the places. I remember her walking by me, and I was like, what is she wearing? Because she smelled so good, like in a good way. Like, you know what I mean? And then once I learned about fragrances like this and people like literally following you and asking you what you're wearing, and it's like the Pied Piper thing going on. People just following you around and asking all these questions. It made me think about that one lady I ran across and made me wonder if that's what she was wearing, because I was so drawn to whatever she was wearing, and I've never done that with any fragrance that anybody's ever wore. It's crazy. So anyway, and I don't even know if that is what she actually wore, but there's goods and bads to everybody's reviews. So this is going to be obviously more of a talk video. It's not like you can smell what I'm smelling. I can just try to give you my experience and kind of talk you through it while I'm just showing you what I got. I had these for a while. I just didn't open it. But I did go to the store and I was able to smell them before I opened these, after I already placed the order. And I was like, I'm glad I came to smell them because I wasn't disappointed. I'm not saying it's the best smell I ever smell. I'm not saying it's even going to sit on my skin great. I would suggest if you go and get it from an authorized place, or, you know, some type of boutique or whatever that sells these, or buy it direct. I heard that they will give you like samples with it, so that way you can use the sample, and if you don't like it, then go ahead and return it without opening it. I've read people saying that they used it and didn't like it and returned it. I don't know how that works, but that's kind of weird to me because I wouldn't want to go buying something that's already been opened, especially fragrances. But let me say this real quick. I know you've seen those places in malls and stuff like that where they have like all these different fragrances at discount prices and their brand names. I don't know what it is, man, but anything popular, it seems like they always make copies of it. People call them dupes. I just call it fake shit. Just trying to get to the point. Excuse my language. I don't want to pay for anything that smells like something else. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was literally exactly like it. You get what I mean? But my thing is like, even like these, I saw people saying that they had fake versions. So it's Baccarat, right? Saw somebody say it was called Baccarat, like it was the backwards version of Baccarat, or it's weird, you know what I mean? And they're talking about how the J is wrong and all these different things on the bottom is wrong. It's so crazy how they try. It's not that like they're calling it a clone. They're literally trying to copy the box and bootleg it, basically. You know what I'm saying? You're not paying this much to wonder if it's real or not. Some people saying they don't smell it. You could be like immune to it after a while other people can smell it, but you can't. That doesn't mean it's not there. It's just for some reason certain smells you just kind of get numb to it, right? That's one thing. The other thing is maybe you bought some BS and you got it in the middle of the mall stand. I don't know. So I stay away from stuff like that because of the fact that I don't want to wonder. I don't want to spend that much and wonder if that's what happened to me. So I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but this is the one a lot of people says it has like a burnt sugar type of smell, cotton candy. I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. I never smelled burnt sugar that I thought smelled good. What I can tell you is I think they're a bit different. And I think, and this is the, hold on, let me see. See, I don't even know. I got to read it. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. So MFK, basically, he has a whole bunch of fragrances. There's a good history with this that I heard was pretty interesting. I'm not going to go over it with you because if you're watching this, you probably already seen videos about it. This is just my regular version of me just getting something like this, and I bought it blindly, which to me was kind of crazy that I even did that. I got this on the wrong setting, so I know y'all probably can't even see what's going on. All right, my bad. I didn't realize I had everything wrong, but there it is. So this is a EDP. This is a EDP. The EDT, the EDP, and the parfum. I think I'm saying that correctly. If you don't know, it's basically different levels. I think of the oil mixture in it. EDT is the lightest. EDP is slightly more oily, I think, and then or oil concentrate or some kind. And then parfum is the most potent. If I'm doing it wrong, excuse my lack of knowledge. I'm just trying to share what I think I understand and what I learned from it. The difference is not also just the consistency of what the ingredients are. They actually can smell different, totally different. So I don't know why they wouldn't just call it one thing and one thing and one thing. It could have been like 3 different fragrances instead of saying EDT, EDP, and parfum. I mean, that's just me. That's my generic understanding of it. But with that being said, I'm just going to open it. These are pretty pricey. You can get the larger bottle. It's like, I think it's around like $800, something ridiculous. These are basically around $4 each. I think one was like $430 and one was $450, something like that. They're super pricey. There's something that if you're not sure, go to the store and smell it. I did it blindly. I didn't even open it, and I had these for a while, but I will say I'm glad that I went to the store. I don't know how exactly it's going to project on me and smell on me, but I was pleasantly surprised when I smelled it, and I was like, all right, I can dig this. Minus the price tag, I can dig this. I think this is something that I like the fragrance of. Some people think that the white one is more for females. This is more for guys, but I've seen girls and guys wear both. At this point, if you like it, you like it. It's not, to me, like it smells dominantly one or the other, whether it be male or female. So I like them both. They just smell different. I would say, and I think a lot of people may or may not agree, the whiter one, the lighter color box, kind of seems something like you will wear more on a daily, on a lighter day, hotter day maybe, and maybe this would be more something that you'll wear on occasion, or maybe wear it at night or on a colder season, that type of thing. That's all I can kind of think to say about it. It's more of a, this is the generic layman's way I can explain it. This seems more of a heavier scent. This is more of a lighter scent, sweet. They're both kind of have their sweetness to it. I can't even explain the smells and the notes and all that, because to me, I kind of like lighter fragrances. I like a little bit of the sweet. I don't really like musky. I don't even like it too dark of a smell, if that even is a word for fragrances. So sorry if I bored y'all to death with all this talking. I know all I did was talk, but again, this is just a crazy experience for me personally, because I've never bought something like this blindly. Especially, it's not like you can buy it, return it, at least not that I'm aware of. And I just did it, and I'm glad I did it, because it's one of these things where it's not like I have it and I have to use it. I have a variety of things now that I've kind of accumulated over time, where I can just bounce around my fragrances and kind of do it as I please. Now, there's some people who spray like 12 sprays or something. I don't know how you do it, whether you're male or female. I literally think 2 is too much for me. So I've never been the type to really wear real heavy, bathing in my fragrances. I just never really been into fragrances that deep. And on top of that, I use like scented body wash. I use scented lotion, you know what I'm saying? Like Jergens cherry almond stuff. I don't know how that plays a part with affecting spraying fragrances on you and mixing even with your laundry. Like when you have clothes with like dryer sheets and your detergent that has a scent to it. I don't know how that plays a part in mixing together and changing the fragrance and how it smells on you. So you got to keep that in mind as well. So for me, for starters, like for example, there's a Louis Vuitton one that was really popular. I think it's their most popular one for men, at least. I did like it. I wore it, and then I don't know what happened, but as the layers, I guess, break down, which I didn't even know there was such a thing. I didn't even know you're not supposed to rub your hands after you spray. I used to do it all the time, pat on my neck. You're not even supposed to do that, apparently. I didn't even realize that it breaks down and it's going to smell different and carry different, etc. throughout the day. I don't know what it was about that Louis Vuitton joint. And they're pricey too, but I didn't realize. But towards the very end of the day, it started to stink really bad to me. I don't know what it is, how it mixed with my skin or my O's, but the smell that I was smelling, the bottom area of that smell or fragrance, it was just not like meshing with me very well at all. I could smell it to the point where I had my sleeves in my jacket, and when I took my jacket off, I could smell it in my jacket sleeves. You know what I'm saying? And my big winter jackets, they're not things that I like wash every day like regular clothes. You know what I mean? And I was just like, dang, I feel like I ruined my whole coat. So that's why I learned not to spray in areas where I feel like it's going to really sit and soil into my clothes. I try to spray like the top of my hands. The problem is with that is when you wash your hands, I wash my hands all the time, especially with what's going on now with society. I wash my hands. I feel like I'm washing it off. And then I feel like that's kind of pointless. So I literally only do like a spray on my neck and a spray on my hands. Now I don't pat them anymore. I don't rub it in. I just let it dry and then I go about my day. Some people actually, what is this? Some people put on the back of their neck. I got long hair and all that. I'm not doing all that. So anyway, this is kind of just more of an unboxing experience. Let me show you. Let's start with this one. Unfortunately, my overhead camera is not working. Again, I apologize for the long talking. I know for some of y'all gonna be like, damn, I'm talking about fragrances and never even did nothing with the fragrance until the very end. This is how the box is. This is underneath. Now, I don't get impressed too much with what I would consider simple things, but I realize once you start acquiring things like this, you start to appreciate little things that you don't think is a big deal or that you normally wouldn't have thought was a big deal. And I heard a lot of people that bought fakes, you pop this off and see like what it looks like on the sprayer. This feels pretty solid though. I thought it would be like plastic. It feels like metal actually. I mean, it should be for this cost. So there it is. Very small, but very costly. Again, if you get something like that, it's not like you can't wear it. I'm trying to smell the box. It's not like you can't wear it every day if you don't want to. But my thing is, something like that, I mean, if you wear it every day, it's going to be gone in no time. If that's your goal, that's your prerogative, that's what you want to do, then by all means, do what you want to do. It's inside this box. This is this. Seeing pictures of the bottle, wasn't really impressed. I'm just like, just a little cube type bottle, who cares? But when you hold it, you start to appreciate it. When I buy designer goods, I start really appreciating the packaging that goes into it because everything is a reflection of your brand. Even the simplest, smallest things to me is a reflection of your brand. When you care about those little things, you definitely care about the big things. You know what I'm saying? I say that all the time. Little things lead to big things. So I care about how a company treats every aspect of what it is that they're promoting or marketing or selling. This one's a bit tighter to take off. Not really sure why. Not that it matters, but I'm just saying. So, let me show you. Oops. Sometimes when you get that mirror flip up, it's backwards and I can't tell what I'm doing. All right, so this is pretty much it. To buy or not to buy is the question. I've been talking way too long about fragrances that you can't even smell. I just want to share that experience and just a little insight for people who just are like me, who's super noobs at fragrances and don't really understand certain things. I'm trying to think if there's something specific that I wanted to bring up, if I didn't already bring it up at one point in this long drawn out talkative video. Excuse me. Yeah, so for some reason, if you're a noob, obviously if you know about fragrances, I'm probably already talking way more than what you like to hear. But if you're a noob to it like me, and you have just like little starter questions that you want to ask because you're looking about investing into certain fragrances, I'll give you my opinion. Remember, all of our noses smell, I guess, a little different in how we perceive things. Your natural oils in your skin is going to be different. The detergents you use, the scented lotions and soaps and body washes are all going to be different. It's going to affect it differently in how it smells on you. The best way is get samples. They sell sample bundles in like Louis Vuitton. They sell them in this. They're kind of pricey, but it can save you money in the long run till you figure out what you like. You know what I'm saying? So I like literally bought this blindly thinking about and listening to what other people were saying about it. And I just felt like I was so convinced because across the board, there's always going to be negative reviews no matter what it is you're talking about or reviewing. Somebody's going to always be negative. I just look for consistency in the negative, and I look for consistency in the positive. And I see the same things that people usually say in the positive, and I like to hear it. So I went for it. I'm glad I did. And with that being said, make sure you do everything at top level. At your top level, remember, you're no competition with anybody except yourself. So make sure your next move is your best move, or at least your better move. And if you're interested in my other fragrances that I personally use and you want me to talk about it in my personal experience, let me know, and I'll do another video on that. So until next time, later.